You are correct, Twilight. I did see Scootaloo last night. I did not know what to make of it, and meant to protect her. I do apologize for not being forthright about it.
I understand, Rarity, but if that investigation team from Canterlot comes here and finds any of that out, what do you think their conclusion is going to be?
You do have a point, I must say.
All right, time to get to the bottom of this. All right, Rarity. Please tell me everything you know about what you saw last night. I can't help if I don't have all the details.
Of course, Twilight. I shall do my best. I finished my work for yesterday earlier than expected, so I had wanted to get my beauty sleep. I had been somewhat deprived, given that a certain client had made several last-minute orders. I had finally fallen into a blissful, restful sleep when, all of a sudden, I awoke to the sound of a loud crash coming from the first floor. Well, I was just scared out of my wits at that moment, so I made great haste downstairs to see what in Celestia's name was going on. What I found there was awful, terrible, horrible. The first floor of my boutique, ransacked, ruined, torn apart. Oh, what is a man to do? Worse still, True Blue, my prized jewel, was gone, snatched from my very home. And worst of all, the very first thing I saw when I arrived was an orange and purple pony darting out my door. I cannot explain what I saw any other way than to say that a Scootaloo purposely broke into my boutique to steal True Blue. What other explanation could there be? Surely you can see why I kept this from you, Twilight. This isn't Scootaloo at all. Yet, there she was.
I know this can't be right. It just can't, but is there anything wrong with what she's saying?
I finished my work for yesterday earlier than expected, so I had wanted to get my beauty sleep. I had been somewhat deprived, given that a certain client had made several last-minute orders. I had finally fallen into a blissful, restful sleep when, all of a sudden, I awoke to the sound of a loud crash coming from the first floor. Well, I was just scared out of my wits at that moment, so I made great haste downstairs to see what in Celestia's name was going on.
Just a minute. If there were potentially dangerous thieves in your home, why would you have gone downstairs so quickly? Weren't you worried for your safety?
I suppose that I did not even consider the possibility that I might have been in danger, now that you mention it. But really, Twilight, that's rather beside the point, is it not? What I found there was awful, terrible, horrible. The first floor of my boutique, ransacked, ruined, torn apart. Oh, what is a man to do? Worse still, True Blue, my prized jewel, was gone, snatched from my very home. And worst of all, the very first thing I saw when I arrived was an orange and purple pony darting out my door.
Just a minute. Rarity, this is incredibly important. Please tell me exactly what it was you saw here. Was there any chance, any at all, that what you saw wasn't Scootaloo?
Well, I'm afraid that it all went by so fast that I didn't get a very good look. I had to turn on the lights before I could see anything at all, and by that time, it had very nearly left. All I can say is that it was definitely something moving, and that I clearly saw the colors orange and purple.
But what about her cape? You didn't see that at all?
All I saw was her backside. Perhaps the cape had gotten wrapped around her front when she crashed through the window. I don't know, Twilight. If that does not describe Scootaloo, then who would it describe?
Is she really the only pony who fits that description? Think, Twilight, think!
And if that was Scootaloo that I saw, then, well, I cannot explain what I saw any other way than to say that a Scootaloo purposely broke into my boutique to steal True Blue. What other explanation could there be?
Just a minute. Is that really really the only interpretation there is for what happened?
I'm afraid I can't think of any other, Twilight. I do truly apologize. Surely you can see why I kept this from you.
Just a minute. Which certain client was this, out of curiosity?
Who else but Sapphire Shores? She gives me such good business. But I don't want to gossip, of course, but my goodness, does that man love jewels, Twilight? Although, I suppose her request was what got me searching for gems, which was what caused me to find True Blue in the first place. It wasn't so bad, all things told. Well, as soon as I get True Blue back, that is. Hint, hint.
Right, so anyway, you had just gone to sleep?
I had finally fallen into a blissful, restful sleep when, all of a sudden...
I know this can't be right. It just can't, but is there anything wrong? All right, Rarity. Please. Just a minute. What kind of crash are we talking about, exactly?
The kind of crash that a window makes when it gets broken. Honestly, Twilight, I dare say I needed to spell this one out for you.
Aha, right. So, what did you do when you heard this crash?
Well, I was just scared out of my... But I found that... Were...
I know this can't be... Where am I going? That leads away from Ponyville. No reason to go in that direction. Are you cleaning a dirt road?
No, I'm giving it a massage because it has cramps.
I just meant it was kind of odd.
Says the guy who hired me to do this. He wanted every surface around his house free of dirt and dust, including the road.
That pony must really dislike dirt.
And I've been out here for the past 5 hours, but every time it starts looking clean, a breeze or a crowd comes by forcing me to start all over.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Don't be. He's paying me by the hour.
What's this crowd all about? I didn't know there was an event today.
They're having an apple eating contest!
Yeah, Applejack's way in the lead.
Whoa, if she eats all those apples, she might get a wicked bad tummy ache. Oh, hello! My name is Twilight Sparkle. Are you new in town? I don't think I've ever seen you before.
Well, duh! I'm a time traveler. Name's Abby Sprocket.
What now? I've seen weird introductions before, but sheesh.
A time traveler. But my time machine broke down, so now I'm kinda stuck here. For now, at least. So I'm trying to make a living as best as I can. Nice place you got here, although a little rustic, if I may say so.
Breathe, Twilight. Breathe. So, how exactly are you a time traveler? Time travel spells are incredibly high level. I mean, I only managed to go back in time a week, and even then I only had less than a minute!
Oh, Twilight, you need to think outside the box. You gotta know how the impossible becomes possible. Or something like that. My mentor was a bit of a coot. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that I built a time machine, and, well, now I'm here.
Uh-huh. And I'm secretly a robot. With mysterious powers.
Really? Huh. I didn't think they had robots in this age. Hold on, let me get some tools and open you up and have a look at how you work.
Ah! No, I was joking! Sheesh.
Oh? Huh. You had me convinced with how robotic you were acting.
Even ponies from the future don't give me a break. I don't have any business at Town Hall. The mayor's probably busy. I wouldn't want to bother her without cause. The boutique's looking as good as... But that... All right, Rarity. Rarity, what you said contradicts this bit of evidence.
No. I don't believe it does, Twilight.
Oh, my mistake.
I finished my work for yesterday.
Rarity. Oh.
I finished.
Rarity. Oh.
I had
Rare. Oh.
I was just scared.
Rare. Oh.
I was. Surely you can see what
I know.
I finished.
Wait a second. Rarity. I know that this is going to sound entirely irrelevant, but I think I have a lead on what might have happened to Opalescence. At least, if not True Blue.
Oh, do tell, darling. Although I do admit that I must agree, in that I can't see how this is relevant to what we're discussing here.
I found some white hair right near the tracks outside the window, and judging from their length and color, I don't think there's anyone else they could have come from other than Opalescence. As a result, I think we can reasonably conclude that if those tire marks are from Scootaloo, then it's entirely likely that she crashed through your window completely by accident, not purposefully. She was probably trying to avoid crashing into Opal, which may well have spooked Opal into running away.
Really? But then, that makes things all the more peculiar. Because it is still the fact that she must have stolen True Blue, no?
Let me ask a very important question before answering that. Do you, by any chance keep your door locked when you go to sleep at night?
Why, yes, of course I do. But I don't see what that has to do with anything.
One follow-up question then. Do you also bring an opal from outside when you go to bed?
Of course! The poor dear, I couldn't leave her to fend for herself at night.
Then I think we've established something even more important than the accidental break-in.
Twilight, I must ask that you be more direct, as I am not following one word you're saying.
All right, let's think about the facts of the case thus far. We know that you heard a crash and came downstairs to see Scootaloo quickly leaving your boutique. We can reasonably conclude that she probably was responsible for the broken window. However, we also know that the broken window was likely an accident, and that she had veered off course with her scooter because she was avoiding Opal, who was immediately in front of her path. You just told me, though, that you bring in Opal and lock your door at night, so that raises perhaps the most interesting question of all here. Namely, what was Opal doing outside in the first place?
But she would have gotten out when Scootaloo opened the door, would she not?
That's not possible. Think about it. When was it that she veered to avoid Opal?
Right before she crashed through the window.
I trust you're beginning to see my point. If indeed your door had been locked and had remained that way until Scootaloo left, there would have been no way Opal would have been outside in the first place.
But that would mean that some pony else was in my boutique as well?
Exactly. I think we can reasonably conclude at this point that there at least is the possibility that someone else had entered your boutique before Scootaloo, and that they're the ones who opened the door so that Opal could get out. The question now, though, is who that would be, and that's just what I'm going to find out.
Well, good luck with that.
Are you still doubting me after all this, Rarity?
Well, it's just hard to see you as a detective.
Tell me, who was right about Nightmare Moon?
You, darling, but...
And who solved the mystery of the
You again, but I really...
And who recognized that Princess Cadance had been replaced by a fake?
Once again, you, but you see...
So, why does no pony ever listen to me?
Well, I suppose it's that eventually you must be due for getting something wrong. Wouldn't you agree?
I could explain the many reasons that argument doesn't hold any water, but by the time I even got to Bray's theorem, the Canterlot investigative team would have gotten here and convicted Fluttershy of something like running an illegal bear fighting club. Probably best to drop the subject now, while I have the chance. Sure. That, makes sense, I guess. Anyways, I'd best be off. More investigating and such like. Thanks for the help, Rarity.
Anytime, my dear.
Where do I go from here, though? It feels like I've talked to just about every pony. Other than Scootaloo, of course. Wait, Scootaloo. Scootaloo, that's it! I haven't talked to all the Cutie Mark Crusaders yet. And if Applebloom is involved, then the others probably are as well. Now, if I recall correctly, I can get to their clubhouse via the western exit of the town square. It's worth a shot, at any rate. Huh? Where's Applebloom? I guess she had to head out or something.
Hey, Twilight! What's up?
Don't startle me like that, Rainbow Dash!
Sorry. So what you up to, Twilight? You're looking all concentrating and stuff.
Haven't you heard? Rarity's prize jewel was stolen last night, and I'm investigating.
Come on, Twilight. Are you sure she didn't just misplace it? And then search high, and then search low, and high and low.
Rainbow Dash, this is serious! Her window was broken in the middle of the night, and the mayor has enlisted the help of a certain investigative team from Canterlot to handle this case.
Did you say the investigation team from Canterlot? You didn't mean the one that tried to drag Derpy on charges of Grand Theft Muffin, right?
That's the one.
You gotta do something, Twilight! They're gonna ruin everything! Again!
I know, Rainbow Dash, I know. But say, while you're here, I could ask you some questions.
Me? But I don't...
It's for Rarity, Rainbow Dash.
Fine. Whatever.
Well, I guess my biggest question is if you know anything about Scootaloo. Have you seen her lately? Or done anything with her?
I thought it was Rarity who was stolen from. Why are you asking about Scootaloo?
You didn't know? Scootaloo's the prime suspect for the crime.
She's what?
I'm sure she's innocent, but if you know anything about what's going on with her at all, it'd be a big help. I know she trusts you a lot, so...
Well, no. Can't say I've seen her in, a long time.
Weren't you about to say something?
Me? Nope. Don't know what you're talking about, Twilight.
I have a feeling that unless I present her with something that proves she's recently interacted with Scootaloo, I'm probably not going to get anywhere here. Rainbow Dash, I don't suppose you've seen this before, have you?
Nope. Never seen it before in my life.
Do you know what it is, maybe?
No. Can't say I have any clue, Twilight.
Could you make a guess?
It looks like something I've never seen before in my life.
How would you even know what that would look like? Great, it looks like at least one Crusader is here. I don't know where Apple Bloom or our little suspect are at the moment, but maybe I can get some information from Sweetie Belle all the same. Hey, Sweetie Belle.
Twilight! Hi! I haven't seen you at our clubhouse in, ever!
Oh, I just thought I'd stop by. How's it going with you three? Have you done any awesome crusading lately?
Oh! Well, no. We're on break.
I'm getting the sense they rehearsed that line. All right, but I really need to ask about... That came from the clubhouse. What's going on in there?
Oh, that's just Apple Bloom. Doing something. Something that does not involve Scootaloo.
Right, of course. All right, well, I just have a few questions. This swing has always confused me every time I look at it. The design is really weird, to say the least, and not exactly what I'd call practical for ponies. And another thing, as far as I can tell, it violates basic physical laws. When ponies are swinging on these things, there's, well, no upward force at all that would counteract the always present force of gravity to keep the pony aloft. I'll need to preserve the scene just so. In order to study this in great detail next time I have the opportunity, I have to solve this mystery.